I hope that if you're young, the next few minutes will make you feel better about growing old.
People staring, people but you don't care.
I got a question on FormSpring that was fantastic, and it was just simply, what's it like being old? I have to honestly tell you, it ain't bad. And I know what you're thinking. I mean, nobody really wants to get old and turn gray and crap. But it's really not as bad as you think it is, and for several reasons. Number one, you can get away with a lot of crap that you couldn't when you were young. One of them is poor clothing choices. When you're old, you can wear anything you find around the house, and ain't nobody gonna say anything to you about it. You can mix plaids and stripes, wear extremely incredible stupid looking hats, put old Kleenex boxes on your feet and pretend they're bedroom slippers. Nobody says a word. Oh, you know what you're doing. You just want to see what you can get away with. Whistling at girls. I swear, if I were 20 years younger, I'd have my face slapped. But now I'm what they call a part of the baby boomer generation. You know what that is? When World War II ended, all the troops came home and they started having babies. Not the troops, but their wives. And we were the driving force behind everything. I mean, rock and roll was popular because there were so many of us and we were buying it so much, we literally drove the economy. Unlike now, where my generation drove the economy into the crapper. One of the things that pleases me the most is to know that all generations appreciate the music that came out when I was growing up. The music that you love now, I heard for the first time that anybody had ever heard it. When I was a teenager, I would go to work at the Big X and do my Friday night show, and the program director would say something like, oh, by the way, we got the new John Lennon single in today, Imagine. Oh, by the way, we got the new Eagles Take It Easy in today. Tell me what you think of it. And today I'm still really excited about the YouTube musicians that I see and hear, and some of the things that they're writing. It's magnificent. If there is such a thing as reincarnation, I'm not going to be happy. I only want to do this once. And that's another thing about being old. You run into other old people, and there are all these stories that, especially if you're like kind of freshly old, not like a moldy old. I ran into a guy that I used to work with in radio, and he was a salesman, a great guy. But he's about 80 years old now. And he's telling me about this pacemaker that he's had put in. It's not only a pacemaker, it's a defibrillator. You know what a defibrillator is? Clear! He tells me that one night he was asleep, and he woke up the next morning and gets a call from the doctor's office. And the doctor's office said, hey, we had to jump you off last night. What? The man had died and his defibrillator went off, brought him back to life. Let's say it's the end of your life. I mean, it's really sort of nature, God, whoever has decided this is the end of what you have here. And you're at peace with the world. Your loved ones are around. Bam! You're back on earth because this piece of crap in your chest, it just brought you back to life. I'm not saying this isn't a good thing, but what I am saying is, I don't want one. And this is the big one. I mean, seriously, this is the big one. Nobody says anything to you about hair loss or passing gas. Look, you're talking to a guy that grew up in the 70s. Hair was everything. And I had a huge, bushy head of hair. I mean, I had a lot of hair. So when you start losing your hair, it's kind of a downer. But when you get to be my age, not a word. And the other big one is passing gas. Not a word! I mean, it could be just a huge, volumatic, bilateral fricadoo. And I know all the other old people know this too, because I was passing by an AARP outdoor activity, and it sounded like a Honda motorcycle club. Now there is one thing, and I hold true to this, and I expect others to do so as well. I believe that no one over 50 should ever take off their shirt in public. It's only fair. I've seen children go blind.